Welcome back, everybody, to the Speakeasy Podcast.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
And should we just start with a bit of a teaser for what we're gonna do in this?
I think that's a good idea. This episode, we're going to be scaring some hoes. As we're going to be reviewing Scaring the Hoes by JPEGMafia and Danny Browns. So look forward to that. Also, obviously, The Last Call. Highlight usually of the evening. Oh, actually, I don't know, actually.
That's a good question. Put down below, what is your favorite part of this podcast?
Yep. But first, gotta clean house.
Gotta catch
What you been up to, man? Yeah, what you been up to, man?
I had a funny experience this last week. Every year in Denmark, we have a yearly day, apparently, where the farmers put the cows out on grass for the first time.
Oh, we have the same, yes.
And we went to that, and that was so nice to see. It was really funny. And it was funny. You know, it was my girlfriend Mia who put it out, and she was like, "Do you want to do this?" And me and one of our girlfriends sounds weird. One of our female friends, I don't know what to call it.
Yes.
Went there, and I was like, I mean, it'll just be fun, won't it?
Yeah.
But I didn't think it would be such a big event. It was like
it is. Yeah.
Holy
I know.
man.
There's a crowd.
It was unbelievable, man. We had to they just allocated an entire field to cars. So we're like, what the? And we saw we went in, and luckily we have a pretty big car, so it wasn't an issue for us. Yeah. But there was a Seat Me, the small tiny car that had got stuck in the field, just couldn't get out. So they had a truck come and lift it up, just out, yikes. But it was really fun, actually, watching the cows, and they were so happy. Yeah, you could go pet some of them, obviously. So that was a lot of fun, and that's funny. A good reminder that nature is good to us, and we should take care of nature as well.
For sure.
How about you?
Yep. Oh man, I'm gonna go. Well, first I think we should. What you drinking, my
Cheerio.
friend?
We apparently
we matched.
We matched.
It's a gin tonic.
It is a gin tonic. Yours is a bit more colorful than mine. Yep. This is a Le Tribut for those who are interested in the gin. A very good Spanish gin. One of my favorites, and a connoisseur tonic from Fentiman, my favorite combo. So curious.
Not bad.
How about you?
I got a I don't know what it's from, but it's a raspberry and blueberry gin. Oh, with a nice elderflower tonic.
That's good. That's good.
So it's nice and sweet.
Is it sometimes the berry gins can be a bit too overpowering, too artificial almost?
No, this is
that's nice. Good.
Yeah. No, work story. I got a official warning.
What?
Yeah.
A warning?
Yes.
What,
a warning. Yeah. Okay. So I worked from home last week. And I my team leader was on holiday for 2 weeks. So we had to do a lot of added work that he couldn't do, obviously. Okay. So I worked from home, which they don't really like at my job, but I could work from home, in general. Okay. But work kind of piled up, obviously, over the week because we had extra stuff to do, and one of the higher up, one of the managers or something was just walking around and didn't see me at my desk, and started panicking, oh no, we're gonna have so much work, blah 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 blah. And then he sent me an email. He's like, "Who told you could work from home?" And I'm like, "Well, I called HR and they said it was fine." So, and then I came back on Monday, this Monday, and and literally the workload was less than it was when my team leader left. So I was like, okay, because he told me he would schedule in a meeting on Monday with me. Yeah. Like, okay, you know, whatever, sure. Do you? I didn't do anything. I just worked my ass off. So so I got in the I got to the meeting, and he was like, yeah, we're really happy with all the work that you do and all the and the amount of stuff you get done. but I'm gonna give you an official warning because you're on your phone too much. I'm like,
what?
What do you mean? How can I do my work if I'm on my phone too much? Like, what?
That makes no sense.
Those things kind of can't.
Yeah.
So then I told him, I was like, so there's two options here. Either I work so much harder and better than everyone else that even though I'm on my phone too much, I can still keep up with everyone's.
Exactly. I still do the work. Yeah.
Or everyone's on their phone and you just see me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What is it?
So, and he's like, yeah. Well, I just see you, so I'm gonna have to give you a warning. I'm like, okay, sure. And what does that entail? He's like, well, if you get another one, then I'll have to fire you on the spot. I'm like, all right. I mean, but then afterwards he was still like, yeah, but I wouldn't want to do that because you're really valuable here. I'm like,
that's so strange.
What? I'm like, what are you on, my man?
Strange.
But that was weird. But man, work like managers that aren't really involved in the work but just observe are the worst.
It's always so strange when it's people where you go, you got your job out of necessity and not because you actually are qualified for it, and you go,
yeah,
like, okay.
But yeah, the thing is with him, I already disliked him because motherfucker came like half a year ago to clean things up in management.
Oh yeah,
and I had a first meeting with him.
Yeah.
And when he introduced himself, he was like, yeah. And we're gonna make sure that within a month, everything will be structured, and you guys won't have to do all the what's it called, all the emailing to the customers and stuff like that to check with how the quality is. That's gonna be done with through other people. 6 months later, and we have to do even more than we did back then. Motherfucker has done nothing but just complain and just talk shit. Man, he's annoying. If you're listening, motherfucker,
shout out.
And I hope you are. Get fucked, or I'm gone. Nah, but Jesus, man, that was so annoying. Though. Yeah, it's. I felt like because he talked to my team leader because he came back on Monday. He talked to him first. And he just said, yeah, and your team leader said that he's really happy with your work and how much you do. So I'm like, okay, so why am I here?
Yeah.
Then
just makes no sense, does it? It's like
I just feel like they just bring up the phone thing just to have something.
Yeah, that's just an excuse.
Yeah,
that's the smallest dick kind of energy, right? It's where you go, well, I called him in, so now I have to give him a warning, but apparently he's doing really good work, so I can't really do that. So what do I give him for? You know?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But so
whatever. So is it is it a permanent thing, or does it get removed, or what?
No, it's permanent. It's just I have one official warning.
That's so strange.
It's ridiculous.
Well,
whatever. Man.
Well, I hope it works out. I guess.
Yeah.
Let's just give a good old cheers and say that was the catching up, I guess.
Yeah.
Cheerios.
If you have any idiotic managers, let us know down in the comments below.
Sure,
I want to hear it. Yep. And how do you deal with them?
Okay, Joey. Here we go. Mm-hmm. We're back at it again. And as you teased, this is the album review for our new acquaintance, should I say?
Yeah,
Danny Brown and JPEGMafia and their new album, Scaring the Hoes.
Scaring those.
Scaring these
What
hoes.
A title. What a title.
What a title.
And just what titles in general on this
yes.
on this album.
Yeah.
Yep, I have heard through the grapevine that our opinions quite differ on this album.
Yeah, so it would seem. Obviously, we keep in touch along the weeks as we listen to the albums, and there do seem to be a discrepancy in our evaluation of this album. I will see. Yep. Let's see where we go. We start off right at the beginning. Lean Beef Patty, track 1.
Lean Beef Patty. Yep.
What you got for me on this one?
Do you have an idea of what the title is?
Yes, I know what. I know what the title is.
Yeah,
it is. So it is obviously a fitness influencer called Lean Beef Patty on TikTok.
Yeah. She is very lean and has a beefcake. Yeah,
she is. She's yoked, as they say.
Yes, sir. I like. Listen, man. These fucking synths give this intro like so much energy, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like this is, in my opinion, a very, very like a lot as an opening. Like it just hits you instantly. Like but I feel like you kind of have to get through this to get through the rest of the album. Because again, if this scares off the host, number one, then you know, but there's a lot of online references to Elon Musk and Twitter and how I think JPEGMafia says, I'm just calling him Peggy. Fuck that.
Peggy.
Peggy.
Yeah.
He is like, you can go from Elon to Yay in a week.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Like, kind of like, you know, cancel culture can literally
I just
like flip you like a coin.
Yeah. It's just, this whole thing is so chaotic. It's we've now reviewed a lot of albums, right? And they all have one thing in common so far. It's that you have a nice smooth intro, and that kind of sets the tone for the album, and that's somewhat relevant for the rest of the album, right? This just hits you like a fucking truck right at the beginning.
Yes.
Here we go. And like, I wrote down, these are my initial notes, right? From the very first listen I went down.
Yeah.
Very chaotic, but I actually like the beat a lot. Like the beat itself is kind of wild, right? It's very well produced. The synths are all over the place. It feels very spacey, very hype. Like you said, a lot of energy in it. Then the first verse, you just goes straight off. First off, fuck Elon Musk. Like,
yes.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
$8 is too much, which is obviously a reference to the blue check mark now costing $8 a month. I mean, this is just a fireworks of an intro. It doesn't really, unlike I will say this, and in general, this album, there is no red thread. There is no
it goes from here all the way to there, all the way to there. It's
just all over the place. But I do like this track. The placement is so strange for me. I would have much rather preferred it in the middle of the track list.
I mean, I think it kind of fits. It fits the album.
It fits their mood so well.
Yes,
and it fits them as persons very well. Yes. I feel. Also, man, Danny Brown's voice over some of these beats, ridiculous. On some of them, it's so grating that I like. Okay, I don't really want to listen to this more than I have to. And on some of it, you go, this fits very nicely. This is really good.
Exactly.
But it's just so strange. Also, I like how you see Peggy's verse. Very thick, very dense verse with a lot of bars in it, and then Danny Brown comes in with like half a verse that just sounds he sounds stoned, he sounds like he's on drugs, and that pitched voice is just so strange. But
it's so good. I love it.
It's funny. It's very very funny opening, I will say.
Yes.
But it caught me by surprise with the first time I heard it.
Oh no, listen, the first time the first time listening to the whole album, it was hard, like, to grasp and to get through.
Yes.
Like, because really listening to it, it's like it's everywhere. It pulls you in all directions all at once, and it's very hard to give your energy to every single part of the song in one go. So I'm like by the end, like, my whole brain was just overloaded with information.
It's completely. That's exactly what it is. This is sensory overload in every way, right? The beat, his voice. There are so many beat switches. Every track is so complex, and it's also a very loud album. Everything is very loud and in your face, and like. So yes, but I will say nice opening. Even though it hits you very unexpectedly hard, I will say.
Yes.
Then we get to track 2, Step Up Pig.
Yep.
Why not?
Why the fuck not?
Obviously a reference to Peppa Pig.
Yep. But I could also, you could probably see it as like step on a pig, like step on a cop.
I guess. I think that's the reference.
Could be. Yeah. I don't have that many notes at this song.
I didn't either. I said it's still chaotic. It's still like very in your face. But I actually like the beat less on this one. It's not quite as infectious. It's not quite as interesting for me. It's not a horrible, and I don't. It was interesting, an interesting listen. But it wasn't one that I went, oh, this is really good for me. Then I also wrote down a lot of references to drugs. And also a lot of references that makes no sense to me, that probably makes sense to someone else, like pop culture references that I'm not really familiar with.
Right.
I also wrote down Peggy's verses, both 2 and 3 are very nice. I do like them a lot. His flow and cadences in this one's pretty nice. But other than that, I just went, it's just a track, isn't it?
Yeah, I like how Peggy mentions incels.
I thought
that was funny.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny. Yeah. No, but the synths again, just fucking blaring in your earphones. Like, God.
Yes. That's actually one thing.
Not in a bad way. It's they go super hard and all over the place, but somehow they sound good.
It's just, that's actually one of the things I wanted to mention that I didn't really before we started. In general, this album is much, much, much better on actual good speakers or on headphones. Like this is not one where if you play it on your phone, like just out loud or like a small speaker or something, it'll get lost how deep the production is. Because I will say it is quite clear that Peggy has put a lot of effort into the production. I think he's produced most of the tracks, and they are everything. I guess I haven't really looked at it. It just sounds like him all throughout it. But it is in general very, very well produced. A lot of layers to the production. Yes. Very intentional clipping where it clips, and a lot of samples that are like intertwines, whatnot.
Yeah.
But that's by the by. But yes, the synths and in general, the production hits you hard with headphones on. It's very good.
Yes, exactly. All right.
Yes. Then
next track.
We move on to the title track, Scaring the Hose.
Scaring the Hose.
The only track that's all caps. Letters for what it's worth. I don't know why.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you just gotta be, I guess, to try to be scaring these hoes.
I guess.
Yeah.
Could be.
And this again to me is like the clapping and the saxophone shouldn't, because it's so out of pitch. I feel like the saxophone, it should not sound good, but somehow it kind of works for me.
For me, it doesn't. But I can see why it would work for someone. For me, it's kind of grating. I wrote down, it's very well produced, but not quite as interesting. But overall, the shock value here is obviously what's. It is obviously about scaring the host.
Yeah. No, it's also in the chorus. You know.
Yeah.
Obviously, stop scaring the host. Like making this music will not get you any plays. No. It will just. It will remain like cult classics, basically.
Yes, and it is in general. I feel like this whole album is a tribute to Danny Browns, like persona. That is a very scary guy.
Mad.
He is scaring the host, always being on drugs, and the voice is very eerie.
His voice is so funny. I've watched an interview with him, and his laugh is infectious.
Yes, his laugh is. It's funny when you listen to him talk, because it's nothing like his rap. He sounds nothing like how he raps.
Sounds like a very sweet guy.
Yeah, he does actually. He sounds like a very chill dude. But
and also Danny's verse just talks about how hip hop is perceivingly supposed to be.
Agreed.
And like. Nowadays, and otherwise you just won't sell any records, because if you make this kind of shit.
Do you think the Chance the Rapper reference is a dig, or is it a nod? Is it like a tribute?
I didn't catch that one. What is it?
I'm a businessman, you a rapper like Chance. And I don't really know, because on one hand it sounds like a tribute, and on one hand it sounds like he fell off. Kind of.
This is a dig.
I think 100%. So. I feel
100% a dig, because I feel like Chance the Rapper has gone way commercial.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's probably what they're referencing. Like,
I think so. Yeah.
That's one of the rappers that kind of just sold out.
Yes, I agree. And he was underground for some.
Yeah. So. And that's coming back in Jack Harlow Combo Meal.
Yes.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, no, I like the track.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's to me, it's I really like this track.
I also I don't really enjoy the track as like one I would put on a playlist, but it's an interesting listen because there's a lot of
yes
things
that's what I do want to touch on. Like, I don't think there's maybe like one or two songs that I would actually put in the playlist. I wouldn't do it with the rest. Not that I don't like them. I just wouldn't put them in my playlist because it's so out there.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I would have to be in a mood to put this shit on.
Yeah, exactly. And it is a very polarizing track list. There's almost no mellow tracks. It's either
no.
But yeah, I will say I did like the fact that in this track they have a chorus each, that they take turns doing the chorus. That's kind of cool. That's a cool nod when you're doing a collaboration album.
For sure.
Then we go to track 4, Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah. The Japanese like nursery rhyme in the beginning
came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's very on point for Peggy, right? Doing those weird samples and whatnot.
180s.
Yeah.
It's just, what does he say? It's like tennis or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. But the electric guitar that just completes this, it's so good.
That's the part I love about this track. The instrumental part, it's unreal. Did he play it himself? Do we know who played it?
I don't know, but fuck,
it's just
that
so
shit
good. Yeah, so but it's so strange. Once again, it's like you have the Japanese sample in the beginning that kind of weaves into the track. Then you get an instrumental break, and it's just pure rock. It's like old school rock, like stadium rock,
so
kind of.
Dope.
But it works. That's very well, very good.
It's so cool.
But I will say it was kind of a letdown that it completely disappears, and then it's gone.
That's a lot. That happens a lot in the album.
Yes.
That some of the things happen, and then all of a sudden it's just like nothing, and then it goes up again.
And you go, but I want it. Give it back. Give it back. Yes, this could have been utilized way more, and I feel like you could have woven it into the track on the second half, because obviously he cuts everything else. It's just a guitar, so you could have just woven it together instead of just letting it have just a random 30-second instrumental, and then
could be.
But yeah, in general, not the most interesting track. I feel the beat is kind of forgettable. Also, I don't get the references that much.
I mean, it's to me, what I got from it is it talks a bit about how artists only care about crafting an image instead of crafting music nowadays.
Yes, that makes sense. Yes. It's about how you're perceived as a person, right? More than how good your music is.
Exactly. It's like building an online persona instead of building the music.
That's what I got as well.
Yeah.
That's what I got as well. But I didn't really get a lot of the references.
No.
I don't know, like Paula Deen. Who is Paula Deen? It's apparently a celebrity chef, but I don't really know it. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Then there's a Raekwon reference in there. We always know that.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. Not the most memorable track, except for the instrumental break, which is really good.
Yep.
Yes. Then we move on.
The next beat is quite memorable.
This
it's
track
a sample.
Was mental.
Because it's a sample.
Yeah.
And it's the wildest sample I've probably ever seen.
It's like, wow.
Who would sample Milkshake?
And let's put it clear. It's not. I think the beat is not sampled, but it's obviously the song is like the lyrics themselves and the way she sings it. But I put down this beat is almost EDM. It's like Skrillex type beat, like almost bordering on like dubstep or that kind of beat, right?
Yeah.
Completely
it's like really,
in your
it's
face.
Like really like it's really segmented.
Yes.
It goes like
yes, very electronic, very electronic.
The flow is really sick though.
The flow is phenomenal. The first verse, I actually wrote down this might be the best verse on the whole on the whole album. Peggy's first verse. That's really good.
Could be. I mean, there's a lot of good Peggy verses.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
But the beat is really sick.
And
I like the outro is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole breakdown of the milkshake song. Yeah. I also there's one reference that I caught the first listen, which was to the Christine Rock reference.
Yes.
Which is Blueface's. I don't know what the fuck their whole thing is. That's a weird shit. But hey, whatever, man.
And she got rocked. Yes, that's funny.
Yep. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. The only thing I really caught.
Also,
in the song.
Yeah, same. Also, the title of the track, Fentanyl Tester. As if you test fentanyl. It's like, but you don't really, you know what it is, right? Like you.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yes.
Yep. All right. On to
Perfect.
A very, very cool song.
Yes, I agree.
Do you know what it refers to? Have you seen it?
Yes, I know, and I know who it is. I watched a lot of NFL. It's obviously a reference to Vontae's Perfect, who was a very, very dirty player.
Yeah,
who did some horrendous shit. Yeah.
I heard that actually his fines total up to $5 million.
Yeah, I would believe it.
In foul play. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, he was ridiculous. I remember watching it and going, how is he not in jail for some of the stuff, like stomping on people's heads and all sorts of mental shit?
But this song feels really Rocky-esque to me.
Yes, I wrote exactly almost the same.
Did you?
Yeah, I read it's like very bombastic, like very sort of hype, building you up, kind of. You could do this sort of.
Yeah, I thought that makes you kind of get hyped, feeling you could take on anyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. But also the thing that I really like is Danny Brown's chorus, where he's like, all right, okay, I see what you're doing.
Yes.
I dung up in the ruins. That flow is so cool.
That's where his voice works perfectly. Like that, he said that pocket is very, very good for him.
Especially with the trumpets backing him up. It's such a sick song.
Yep, I agree for sure.
Yeah.
I will say the second verse of his is very short. And like the first verse and the second verse, because I'm undecided if the first and second verse they have a chorus in between them, but it almost feels like they're going together as like a whole paragraph almost. Because there's almost no pause in between. But yes, that works really well. And then the interlude is cool. Where you go. Yeah. And now you don't know any of the names, not under the heavens. And then Peggy's verse is sick. That is a very, very nice verse. Holy shit.
Yep. I agree. Yeah.
But yes, very nice in general. Probably the most polished track, I would say.
I feel like it's the most cohesive track.
Yes, you could. Yes, that's a good point. Yes, I agree. Yeah. It seems like they knew exactly what this was going to do, and there's no twists, and it just goes straight to the.
It is. This is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Then we come to a 2-part track, Shut Your Bitch Ass Up / Muddy Waters.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Yeah, that's a funny intro as well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
The first part is probably almost my least favorite on this whole album, I feel.
Really?
Shut Your Bitch Ass Up. Yes. But on the other hand, the second part is probably my favorite, I could say. It's like I love that beat on the second part. Yes. That is an insane beat.
Peggy's chorus is sick.
Yes, it works so well.
It's sick.
So good.
No, I actually really enjoyed the first part as well, but the second part is so good. It's so sick.
The way that beat builds up, it's almost like an Indian influenced beat. It's like Oriental sort of. It's so good. It's so good. And then
there's also a lot of references to
I was just gonna
entertainers.
say.
Like the Tom Holland reference, the Shia LaBeouf, Andy Kaufman reference,
and like there's like a Prodigy, obviously, Smack My Bitch Up reference. Firestarter and stuff. It's
Yep.
Also,
Peggy on the
Peg's flow on the second verse where he goes,
Lord, man,
baby, just let me ride, like DRE. It's just so good. Like it's so fucking good.
Yep. Yeah.
So that part I was like, cause the funny thing is, I obviously I've listened to the whole album, but if it wasn't because we were doing this, I probably would have skipped this track because
and
the second
missed out on the best thing. Yeah.
For sure, but yes, very, very good. Very, very good.
Yep, for 100%.
Then we come to what I would call the most mellow track on the whole album, Orange Juice Jones.
This actually for me it's okay, but it's not. This is one of my least favorite ones.
It feels out of place almost, right?
I did like the Michael Jackson like sample,
yeah.
But I don't know. That's just for me. It got to a point where it got too much at the same time.
Yes, I get what you feel. Yeah.
Like I didn't really, because my brain is scatterbrain in general, so I could kind of piece shit together anyway. But this one was a little too much for me. It's just hard to focus on anything because the Michael Jackson, and then almost at the same volume, that's Danny's verse, and then
yes, I agree.
Like I liked the Kendrick shout out, but his chopper being Kendrick size and he's spitting like him.
Yeah.
That was funny.
I think there's a lot of funny references here, but it feels out of place because up until this point, all the beats have been hyped and very aggressive and very experimental, and this is just I mean, you could almost put anybody over this beat and it would flow nicely over it, right? There's not too much that puts it apart from any other sample, really. It's a very nice beat. It sounds very mellow. I like it.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. It is kind of like, okay, but now I'm supposed to just, right after you put all the adrenaline in my body, I'm just supposed to sit down and relax, like, okay, interesting. Like, no, that's, it's not really, it's not possible, I guess, for me.
Exactly.
Then we come to Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts, yeah.
The only feature on the whole album, Red Veil. And another Japanese sample.
Yes. Yep. No joke. I thought it was Denzel. I thought Red Veil was Denzel the first few seconds.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to double check this shit. Is it? What the fuck? He sounded so similar to him.
Yeah, I can see why. I see what you mean.
Yeah. But I don't have that much to say about this song. And I've heard that this song is a lot of people's favorite. But
really?
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised by that. I wrote down, this is the most forgettable track. There's nothing in it for me.
Might be why. I don't know.
It's inoffensive. It's not bad. It's just
I couldn't really get into this one. This is this is the only song I really couldn't really get into.
I will say,
and I don't know why.
In general, from here, it goes hard downhill from me on this album. A spoiler alert.
You're joking.
No.
The last part of some of the best songs.
Oh, I guess we'll see.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not. I'm actually not.
Nah, you're on some good, my man.
Okay, let's move on. We go on to God Loves You.
Okay. This sample is so cool.
The sample is cool, but the rest is just
And what do you mean? It's such a fun song. They take all religious stories and turn them sexual.
Yeah.
It is so funny. It's like that pussy wet like Noah's Ark.
I know.
Go ahead, bless me. If your period, call me Moses because I'm going to split the Red Sea. What do you mean?
It's just too much for me. It's just... I think it's like this. I enjoy conscious rappers. I enjoy the Kendricks,
same,
the Jits, the Denzels.
Okay, no. Listen, you tripping on this one. Kendrick is the most experimental motherfucker. What?
But yeah, I agree. No, I agree. It's not that it's experimental. It's the subject matter. It's just like, this reminds me of why everybody hates on Eminem right now, because they go back to his old lyrics and they go, "This is very inappropriate lyrics. This is kinda." I feel like this is just.
I am not joking, and I know we weren't. I know we weren't gonna do this, but this is in my top 3.
Okay, fair enough. It's for me. It's not.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not. Okay, I just don't enjoy it.
Respect the opinion, but fuck, man. I love this track.
I by all means go ahead. I just think it's, for me, the combination of Danny Brown's voice and the subject matter. It just seems corny to me. It just seems like
I mean, I don't know. Because I feel like you shouldn't take anything on this album serious. So that's why my mindset is in that state. So I'm like,
I can see what you mean. I definitely can see what you mean. But I also think it's way better executed on other tracks than this.
Okay, well, fair enough. But yeah, I just really love the sample and like the heavy bass coming through. Like,
no, I love the sample. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The sample is perfect. The beat is very good, but I think the subject matter is just so so strange for me.
And I like the little snippet of Schematic the Slum God.
Yeah.
What an episode like that?
Yes. Fantastic. Yeah. I mean,
man,
I will say it's not like I hate it and I despise it and I go, I'm a Christian and I go, but I just go, it's not for me. It's
my Bible study teacher told me.
Exactly, right. I just don't enjoy it. It's not enjoyable for me.
Madness. What a madness. All right, we moving on then.
Then we go to Run the Jewels.
Yep, obviously title references to
Run the Jewels.
Run the Jewels. Man, those guys are sick too.
This, I would say, I did say this goes downhill. This is a pretty sick track. This is pretty good.
Yeah. The trumpet, man.
Yeah, it's sick. It works really well.
It's very short. Like it's like 1 minute.
It's a
something.
minute. Yeah, it's a minute.
Yeah.
But it's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's very good.
No. It's like man. That was one line that I got and I had to research it because I couldn't know. It was the line that like about getting shit on in Dubai. That was wild. Yeah. Because apparently that's referencing rich men in Dubai offering shit ton of money to influencers to basically like take a shit on them like as a fetish. And basically, I think this is kind of double entendre, like alluding to rappers selling out.
I guess that would make sense.
But that was a madness when I read that. I was like, what the fuck? That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. But I did like when Danny Brown comes on and he's like, I done switched up my style, and then the song completely switches style. That was sick. I like that.
I like this. And also, I think I'm not that familiar with Run the Jewels in general, but it sounds very much like something they would do. So I think it's a very cool reference.
It's I've listened to the self-titled album, I think.
Yeah. No, they're all self-titled, right? They have Run the Jewels 1, 2, 3, whatnot. I think.
Oh, could be. I think so. Actually, yeah.
I'm not sure.
No, but that's like I listened to that when I was like, when I was like almost graduating college. Yeah. I kind of found that album and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty sick.
Yeah.
And then I never listened to it again, and I should kind of revisit it. Yeah. But yeah, not much really I have to say about the song. It's very
like nice. I will say I also like it. It's very old sounding. Like the production is not as I want HD. I don't know how you want to put it, but there's like a certain warm feeling to it, the fuzzy feeling almost, that it's not as crisp HD, completely synthesizes in your ear kind of vibe.
For sure,
but I do like that a lot. Then we come to Jack Harlow Combo Meal.
When I saw the track list, this was the song that I was like, this is the one I want to listen to. But it's a very different song. This is like a very jazzy, slow piano, like instrumental.
This is the biggest tease for me on this whole thing because the piano is so good in the intro, and then the rest of the beat and the piano doesn't fit in for me at all.
Really? I think it does kind of like work together.
I just don't like it, man. Really? If we were to make a bottom 3, this would probably be in there for me. I just don't like it. It's too grating. I think it could work. I just think and to give them credit, or to give Peggy credit, I think he's doing it on purpose. Because the piano is so warm and like cozy, and the rest of the beat is so scathing that it puts kind of a friction in it, and I don't really enjoy it. I can see why some people would, and I think it's a fun way of trying to experiment with stuff. It just doesn't work for me in this one.
All right, fair enough. But obviously it's referencing Jack Harlow's KFC combo meal.
Who would have thought it?
Whatever the fuck. But it also kind of feels like he's saying like, listen, these motherfuckers are getting the spotlight by completely selling out and doing the same shit that other people are doing, and while they're hustling to get any form of traction. And basically like saying that like he will not be that kind of sellout. I love Peggy's verse where he starts it off like This is in the regular wave.
This that irregular wave.
I something unusual.
I'm smoking something unusual. Regular. Yeah, exactly.
But to me, it's just regular haze. Like almost like this shit to you is wild and it's so unusual. But to me, it's just a regular old day.
That's how I do it. Yeah.
I
agree. It is pretty much just once again a dig at commercial rappers and the lack of creativity, the lack of love for the music and the culture, right? And it's more about getting paid than it is about making good music.
One thing you cannot fault these motherfuckers on this album is the lack of creativity, because Lord,
no, and I think I'm spoiler alert, I'm not gonna score this very high on a Fantana 1 to 10, but I will say I enjoy that they're doing something different. Shame. But I think it is cool that they're doing something different, and it's also a very it is just perfect odd pairing Danny Brown and JPEG. It's
I mean, I don't think it's that weird of a pairing, because obviously they kind of both are.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I mean.
It's experimental.
Yes, but they are very strange artists in the fact that they are not. They don't conform to the norms. They don't do they do all sorts of weird stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
We move on to Heaven on Earth. Or Ho.
You mean Ho?
Ho.
Ho? Yeah. Nah, this to me goes crazy. The organ instrumental and like the choir pitching up from time to time is so sick. I think Peggy's flow, and then he all of a sudden just hits a high note. Like, what the fuck? And then later on, the transition is really nice with the whole gospel, like the
outro. You mean?
I don't know what. Yeah. I really like that.
I named this one JPEG. I like that part.
I really like this song. I really like it.
I like this beat a lot. I think it's very cool. It feels very out of place compared to the other beats. Again, there's no red thread on the beats.
Everything is out of place. Yeah.
But I like it. I like Peggy's verse. Very good. I will say once again, this is the point where Danny Brown's voice starts being too much I can see me. It's a very, very dense verse, his verse, and it's the delivery is just not really for me.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
But I wrote down really cool outro. That's very, very well integrated.
It just sounds so cool with the track on the background.
I
think it's so nice. Yep. I don't have that much else to say about this song other than I really like it.
I like the beat.
Yeah.
Then we come to Where You Get Your Coke From, the album closer.
Yep, the final track.
The
first thing I wrote down, and this was like on my first listen, it was like, I like how this song goes from super ultra bombastic grandiose to
yes. Very strange.
It's like, I love when Peggy's like, my bitch, she bad.
Yeah, that part is funny.
That's so good. Yes. I love it.
I wrote down not a very enjoyable track for me. The weird sampling difference makes it very very grating for me.
Really?
It just seems like an assortment of random samples and drops, and it doesn't really. If it's on purpose, like he's doing it for what that brings, I can see why that would appeal to someone. It's not for me, and it feels too chaotic. That it just throws everything at the wall and see what sticks, almost kind of vibe.
I can see it.
I do like both of their flows on this. I do like the Danny Brown verse on this. I think that verse that's a very dense verse, and that works very well in general. I like his references. He references Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze, obviously. Are You Experienced? All that stuff. He references 8 Mile and stuff like that. That's very cool. But in general, I don't really enjoy the beat, which is something I won't say for much of the rest of the album. I
actually do kind of. I like. I don't know why, because it shouldn't. Again, but a lot of these tracks shouldn't sound.
Yeah,
good.
On paper it doesn't work, but it does. Yeah.
For me, this works. It goes from boom, boom, like,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's just like you get the verses with the.
Yeah, exactly. That's,
I don't know why. It just does it. I don't know. It just does it for me.
I can see why, and it's not that I will say it's not like I'm pulling my hair out like make it stop, but it's I would not put this on. This is not something I will revisit. I think.
All right, fair enough. Yeah.
So that is the 14 tracks on the album.
Yep. I have a little fun fact.
Oh, go ahead.
Before we go to, apparently, Peggy was already a big fan of Danny Brown before they met.
Oh, cool.
And his favorite artist used to be Kanye West. But then Kanye West made those remarks, and Peggy was like, well, shit. Now Kanye's a Nazi. So now Danny Brown is my new favorite artist. So that's kind of cool.
That's a cool trivia.
Danny Brown is not my favorite artist, and I got to make a fucking collab album with him, which is funny to me.
That's cool. I will say it seems very obvious, even though Kanye is obviously way more commercial than Peggy is. His whole production style with the sampling, for sure. Yeah, it's all over the place, right? So that makes sense. Yeah. With that, should we do a nice Fantano 1 to 10?
Sure. Shall I start? Shall I ease them in?
Go. Yes, do it.
All right. I am gonna give this a nice 7 or 7.5 out of 10. I like the creativity. I love the creativity. I love all the beats. There's one song that I didn't necessarily like that much, but the rest of the songs I really enjoyed. It's obviously a lot to get used to, but once I listened to it a few times and got into it, like I could play all the songs, not necessarily on a playlist, but I could play all the songs if I feel in the mood for it. So I'm gonna actually give it a nice, good, solid 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, respectable. Yeah, I was debating between giving it a 4 and a 5, but in the end, I ended up giving it a 5 because there are a lot of beats that I enjoy. I think had this been only a Peggy project, I would have probably given it a higher score because I don't enjoy the Danny Brown parts as much as I enjoy the Peggy parts. I think Peggy's flows works better for me. His delivery is more my kind of style. But there are definitely areas where Danny Brown's style works really well on these beats, and I don't hate the album. But I think I would have to be in a very particular mood for most of these songs. And some of them there's almost 0% chance I would revisit. I do like some of the like tracks. There are actually a few that I could put on a playlist, I feel. Yeah. But in general.
Okay. Well, this time you're gonna get a hate mop on you for the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
I already have one opinion that it's gonna get me lynched, absolutely decapitated. Really? Yeah.
Which one is that?
Yeah. Well, you'll see next episode.
Ooh, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Now.
Top 3.
All
right, shall I start? Or
yeah, you can start if you want to. That's fine.
Okay. Actually, I think you are correct. Let's start with number 3.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna give an honorable because number 3 is toss up for me. I'm gonna give an honorable mention to Ho, Heaven on Earth.
Okay.
Number 3 for me is Shut Your Bitch Ass Up / Muddy Waters.
Respectable.
Number 2, because it's number 2 is God Loves You, because that whole song is so cool to me. And number 1 for me is Perfect, because
that makes sense.
That whole gets me, that shit gets me going, man. Fuck.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, what about you, my friend? Hit me up.
I have a number 3. I have Lean Beef Patty. I actually enjoy that track as an isolated song when you know what you're in for. I like the beat. I like the hype energy. Number 2, I have Fentanyl Tester. I like the beat. I actually enjoy that sort of EDM, almost dubstep kind of vibe. And I like rappers that can flow over that kind of stuff. And I feel like they both can actually on this.
Yeah. Okay.
And then number 1 is Shut Your Bitch Ass Up / Muddy Waters. But let's be honest, if I could separate them, it would only be Muddy Waters because Shut Your Bitch Ass Up is just there by default, right?
Fair.
That beat is so infectious, and I'm actually kind of sad that it's only I think 1.5 minutes. because I would love 5 minutes of that evolving and spreading out, and also like the vocals in the background. Whoa, where it evolves. Very good.
Okay, fair enough.
Now with that, should we just do real quick? What do you think is the most played track on the album?
Oh, but it's just come out.
But I will say there's a pretty big gap on what's being played. So you should have some inclination.
I think. Ooh, man. I think Scaring the Hose is probably number 1.
No.
Okay.
Lean Beef Patty is number 1.
Okay. Yep. Fair enough.
8.6 million plays.
Solid.
Yeah, pretty good.
Number 2 is then Scaring the Hose.
Yes, it is.
Thanks. Nice.
5.5 million. Almost 5.6. Okay.
Oh, that's a big discrepancy.
Big gap.
Number 3 for me is probably, if I go off of hype, like hype before the album even came out, and it was only the track list, is probably Jack Harlow Combo Meal.
No, not even close.
Okay.
Yeah, it is perfect.
Fair. Yeah. Respect. All right. Cool.
The funny thing is, Jack Harlow Combo Meal is like the 4th least played.
Okay.
It has below 2 million plays. Okay. And the least played by a wide margin is Where You Get Your Coke From. Only 1.4 million.
I could see that. I can understand.
It kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But that is it for the album review. Put down below what your thoughts on the album were. It's obviously a very new and I think very controversial album.
Yes, for sure.
Also, a funny little side question that we didn't discuss, Joey. Do you in the end think that this is Scaring the Hose?
For sure, it scared me, and I'm a hoe. Nah, 100%. This is out there. This is like Scaring the Hose material. For sure.
I agree.
Yeah, no, this definitely scurried off some hose.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, the hose stay in the shed.
Well, that Cheerios, my friend.
And on to the most deep, vulnerable
part of the podcast.
Funny as fuck part of the podcast.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Hit it up. All right, everyone. You know what time it is. Last orders up. It's time for the last call, people. Get those fucking numbers of those skirt little hoes you've been dancing with. Sorry, ladies. No harm here. We all love you.
Will we ever get to a point where we believe our viewers have gotten the number? Our listeners have gotten the number?
Fuck yeah. These men be wild. Yeah. Anyway, so as our residential social media manager,
yes, sir,
I want to give a little shout out to one of the comments from the last call from last week.
There we go.
Which you asked me if I believe in love at first sight.
Yes.
And Night Dark commented, I don't know. My dad said he wanted to marry my mom the first instant he laid her eyes on her.
Oh.
Said he'd never felt anything like it before, and that he'd been attracted to her, been attracted to other women and dated before he met her, but they have been together for 47 years.
Oh, that's a nice story.
That's very nice. And it is fair enough. That is a feeling that exists, in my opinion. That is obviously a I laid my eyes on her and I never let her go type of thing. But I still think it almost kind of reinforces our point to a certain degree. I guess so, yeah. That like, because I feel like it's more like a gut feeling that this person might be special and could be something other than it being love. Because
you can definitely feel a sort of attachment to someone, right? Like you have something in common, something that binds you together. But I agree with you, and I think obviously if you've been together 47 years, as everyone evolves, so will they have had to evolve, and their relationship would have probably had to grow and change into something different than it was when it started. I think that's very normal. So, but that's a very nice story, and may they have many more happy years together.
Yep, exactly. But moving on to this week's
question
of the week. What is your biggest pet peeve?
pet peeve in the positive or the negative sense?
Let's do both.
Both.
Yeah.
And by pet peeve, do you mean how do you perceive a pet peeve?
Okay, so what I perceive with a pet peeve is like it is a minor thing that doesn't push you over the edge. Like it's not something like that you will burst out in anger or annoyance.
Yes, I think.
Excuse me, over.
So should we then divide it into pet peeve, which is the positive one, and petty grievances, which is like things that annoy you that are tiny but annoying. Should we do that? Okay.
Sure. All right.
And pet peeve, obviously, small things that you do that like makes you happy inside, makes you go all fuzzy. Like I will say my positive one. Things that make me happy because I probably have some OCD in me is that I don't like stepping on the lines on the sidewalk. So I do what I can to not do it.
Yes.
That feels good.
Man.
Yes. When
fucking amazing.
The part where you find a sidewalk where the steps are just far enough apart,
perfectly lined apart. Don't have to.
Yeah. Feels good, man. Feels good.
Yeah, it does. Oh, that's funny.
The petty grievances one is mostly like language based because I hate when people say or like in general if you have filler words that are not needed, like when or if people like use the wrong adjective or the wrong misnomer or whatever.
But do you mean in a native language or in a learned language? Because in a learned language
native obviously.
Okay, I was about to say because
no I'm not unreasonable in that sense.
All right.
And I think I will say I've spoken English since I could walk, and I probably still have some language fuck ups here and there because we all do, right? So but native language you should probably have a pretty good grasp at. That's also why I hate social media, because I think that makes us dumber, because you view people that speak incorrectly, I think, in most situations, and I go, "Oy, ay Dios mío," as they say in
Fair enough.
How about you?
Fair enough.
How about you?
I would say the positive one for me is I mean, that's hard. Like, this one's. I mean, all right. Fuck it. If we go just random tiny small shit, it's like when it's a super hot day, and you're laying in bed and you're sweating your nasty ass butt off, and you flip your fucking pillow.
Oh, that's the best.
Cold
and
side.
the covers as well, right? Oh, that's good. Flipping the covers, yes, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
In general, I do that. Oh, I'm a very hot.
I do that all the time too.
Yeah, it gets so hot when I do it all the time. Oh, yeah, that's the best.
That's some good shit.
Agreed. That's solid.
Pet peeve. The biggest pet peeve for me is loud chewers. Good. Oh, really? Lord. Good Lord. My girlfriend is a big offender in this. I like legit, if I'm not eating with her at the same time, when my own inner chewing cancels out the noise, I will literally put on headphones or walk out the room because I will go mad.
That's funny. I get it though, but
I cannot handle it.
I don't know, but is it just because I think I'm a loud chewer, but it's not like I like my mouth is open, like
yes you are,
but it's probably it's not something she does on purpose.
It's not
right?
the mouth. No, it's
being
it's
open.
Like the
it's
inner,
just
like
just a.
I don't know. It's just fucking hollow or some shit. You have a big mouth. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I have a big mouth. Yeah, exactly. I do.
Yeah, but that is it. Yeah. It's like she could chew with her mouth closed, but I could still listen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's
Because I will say, in general, I don't think that's a pet peeve. It just gets bad manners if you just go. You go, okay.
No, for sure. Yeah, for sure. No, it's just that's and you cannot do anything about it. But it's just I cannot handle it.
That makes sense. All. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, I think I don't. You want to know another pet peeve I actually have? Like, really? Yeah. No, I guess that's a petty grievance. It's like one that's very negative. Is and my girlfriend has a fight. Have a fight. We have a fight. There you go, language, right? But we have a fight about the sink because when we have dishes, she puts them in the sink. Yeah. But then I go, but I need the sink to clean them. So if you fill it up, I can't clean the dishes, you know? And so we have an ongoing like fight over where it goes.
Dispute. Yeah.
But I think we have now come to a compromise, and it now it works. Right. So, but that was for the longest time. I was like, I came home, I was like, okay, got to do the dishes. Then I looked in the sink and I was like, son of a bitch, she did it again. I have to
take everything out.
Yeah, exactly. It's just and it because you put it in there, then because you don't stop using the water in there, so you just spray water on it. Yeah. Then it gets kind of yucky. All the leftover the stains gets all and you go, now I have to deal with that stuff. No, that's not good. For sure. Not good
for sure. Yeah,
that's a good question.
Oh
though.
Man. Yeah, it's funny.
What do you think is the most common pet peeve? Like the most common thing that people don't like other people doing? I think loud chewing
is probably
up there.
Big one. Yeah. I would think. Oh man.
I think maybe people that guy just did to you right now, where you just break someone's speech. Like what's that called?
Oh, interrupting.
Interrupting. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Language.
Yeah.
I think that's a pet peeve for most people, right?
Oh, 100%. But it depends. If you're extroverted, you will hate the person for the rest of your life. If you're introverted, you get cut off, you're just like, okay.
It also depends on how people do it, I feel. Like if you do it didn't make sense, then you probably just get along with it, right? But
if you kind of emphasize their point and kind of hype them up in a way, then it's, but if you're like someone is talking and you like completely go off rails with your own
so
thing,
anyway,
it's like it's such a dick move. But no.
True.
Oh man. Pet peeve. I think don't people call it X nowadays? Like petty grievances. People call it X. Like shit people do. Yeah, but shit people do to just kind of like annoy you or like weird you out, turn you off of people.
Yes, if you put it that way, that makes perfect sense. Because one for me is the smell of smoke, like cigarette smoke.
Really?
Yeah, I can't. I have a very sensitive nose, like in general. Like I'm not very good at bad smells, and that one is just so yucky to me. I can't deal with it.
But I know on the contrary for you, if someone smells like you're like on cloud 9. You are on some shit.
Yes. I'm the type of guy that will smell a girl's hair. I'll put it out there. It's obviously consensual, but like I'm going on.
Just all of a sudden it's just like on the street, and all of a sudden it's just like you grab a lock of hair and just like
No, not like that. Not like that. But I love smells. Like perfumes and like nice body washes and whatnot. That's a very, very
fair.
Good for me.
Oh man. Damn. I mean, we could do X another time, but that would be funny. But yeah. Oh man.
Otherwise, put it down below, people. What is your worst pet peeve or X? And what's something you love about people? Well, like small things they do.
Yeah, the small things. Yeah.
The small things in life.
Yeah. I mean, this is really a like that, like a small like positive thing, but like coming home to the smell of food.
Oh yeah, in general. Yes. Oh man. The smell when you walk
that would make my day better.
Yes.
That will make my day good.
If you walk into a building and it smells like garlic frying or something, then you just go hello.
There's this bakery factory next to my work.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
And they bake like spiced cookies and like breads all day.
What a tease.
And it just wafts over. And
what
it's just
a
like
fucking tease. What a tease.
Fuck.
That sucks when you're on a diet. And you go, give me cookies.
I am killing it. I am dead inside.
All right. With that, I think we should close the bar. It's over. Yep. If you didn't get the number, too late.
Yep.
And as always,
idiot. It's just one question away, dumbasses. Anyway.
Cheerios.
Anyway. Yep. Cheerios. Don't walk out on us. Walk with us. Walk out with us to the after hours, where we go to an after party, wherever the fuck. Go to someone's house and just kick it. just have a looser conversation. That's what happens at the after hours. Anyway, people, thank you for listening. Thanks for scaring the host with us. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. We post daily, so look forward to that. Subscribe, ring the bell, do all those things. We really appreciate it. But most importantly, people, comments. We love the comments. And like I said, as our social media manager, I will do my best to answer every single one of you and to give someone a little shout out on the last call every episode. So with that being said, walk out with us and happy Friday.
Happy Friday, peeps. See you in the after hours. Bye-bye.